Salutations, a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Dr. Pavel. I am enlisted in the Central Intelligence Agency, which coincidentally happens to influence my surname as a common abbreviation of the agency's namesake.
At the location where the doctor was discovered, it was apparent unknown associates had unexpectedly accompanied him.
Hasty expression of interjection, I neglected to mention that the accompaniment of trusted companions is strictly prohibited.
What you mistakenly referred to is my personal accomplices and companions are in fact men of unknown origin that I have never associated with in prior instances.
No need to fret, for the accompanying figures of concealed identity are included with the doctor, disregarding any necessary payments.
Fair enough. However, I must inquire what purpose these hooded rogues fulfill in my assignment.
The knaves in question were involved in a separate assignment, which coincidentally involved the acquisition of the central figure in your objective. The mastermind behind the unsuccessful mission was revealed to be the infamous mercenary behind a sizable portion of various unrelated happenings. The mercenary whose appearance is most notably represented by an object designed to purposely conceal one's distinguishing facial features, thus giving a false appearance in order to stand out from the average civilian, yet still maintaining the enigmatic function of concealing one's true identity.
Using the information that I have recently been given, I can safely assume that the identity of the rogue you speak of would correctly fit the persona of Bane, I assume.
Gesture of agreement, yet additionally surprised regarding the rapid conclusion of correctly assuming the identity of the mercenary.
With haste, I have decided against my own judgment to allow the unknown associates aboard my only means of locomotion through aerial travel, whilst in the meantime, I will establish contact with the agency of which my Christian name is based upon in order to request re-entry into the facility with both my aircraft and the additional unprecedented passengers aboard. The attendance for my personal aircraft I had recently established with the aforementioned agency specifies myself, my personal mercenaries who accompanied me on my mission, Dr. Pavel, who is promptly seated over there, but in response to the recent events, we may only choose to spare a single member of your creed. The gentleman whom initially responds to my inquisitions shall be guaranteed life aboard this airplane. Identify the figure who would compensate you for the successful delivery of Dr. Pavel at once. Your accomplice's natural flight capabilities are unimpressive, to say the least. Whom might be the successor to volunteer on behalf of the previous individual? I demand thee to elaborate upon the mercenary Bane. Wherefore doth he cloak his identity behind a physical shroud upon his cranium? Your stubborn faithfulness to the mercenary is impressive, but might I remind you that you are but a dispensable pawn in his army of other like-minded followers? On second thought, you might not have considered the possibility of the rogue pondering completely different topics, such as questioning your flawed method of executing a man painlessly via gunshot wound to the cranium, then disposing the lifeless corpse of the aircraft as a tactic to terrify him into revealing his innermost secrets. In retaliation, I have at least discovered a hostage who is willing to converse. My interest has perked, so reveal yourself. My identity and the identity of my comrades is of no importance, rather I recommend that you question our motives and long-term goals. My identity as a human being was completely dismissed as nothing truly important akin to the likes of your average civilian. Yet I acquired a notable persona once I donned the distinctive headwear that cloaks the two most recognizable components that help make up the digestive and respiratory systems. Questioning the practicality of your dubious masquerade, if one such as myself were to remove such a device from your cranium, would you cease all vital bodily functions and reduce to a lifeless corpse? To unmask me would conclude with an excruciatingly discomforting response from one's nerve endings, which allow them to perceive such horrible feelings. In contrast to what you inform me, I would assume you possess the natural ability to endure such feelings of discomfort and pain, as your stature leads me to perceive you as a man of impressive build. I led you to believe my ruse, for I hadn't explicitly confirmed your assumption of myself being the victim of the aforementioned feelings of extreme pain and long-term discomfort. That brief spiel was in regards to your own well-being instead, as you're correct to determine that my stature borderlines on absolute, which I theoretically would utilize to overpower you in physical combat, inflicting terrible wounds upon your body in the process. Would your capture and detainment be a notable fraction of your entire scheme? I can confirm that statement is true with a smug and unusually reassuring tone of voice. Dr. Pavel was a central component in our scheme, but what promises and guarantees we would propose to him would later be rejected in favor of your own proposition, and because of that, my motley crew had been assigned the retrieval of information the Doctor bestowed upon you.
Such claims of revealing the specified information to the Central Intelligence Agency representative are but false assumptions. I repeat myself. The relaying of the precious instructions never occurred whatsoever.
By all means, allow me to express my utmost delight in regards to your successful operation. You managed to purposefully unveil and submit yourselves to the Central Intelligence Agency. Care to indulge me with the preceding component of the intricate plot? You have contributed a sizable amount of time in order to perceive it as perfection. The intention involves dismembering the precious aircraft in a manner that would send it plummeting. To ensure that not a single human being aboard will be alive to recall the incident, for it is of utmost importance that you all perish off the metaphorical face of the planet of which all human life resides. It is with complete disbelief and confusion that I proclaim the current situation that will eventually end with the untimely demise of myself as well as my associates must not be taking place. I must re-establish my dominance over the criminal mastermind who has bested me. I must halt your progress, for I have hypothesized that to convince the general public the destruction of the aircraft was completely unintentional, a single member of our Legion is to perish among the scattered remains of the vehicle, male sibling. I shall comply, but before your safe departure, I request that before my impending doom, you inform me of the inferno we seek. Has the spark that gives birth to a new era managed to ignite a healthy, kindling flame? I can reassure you that the young flame that you describe has matured into a rapidly expanding inferno, which signifies our revolution. Refrain from overreaction, Doctor, for at this moment in time, losing your self-control to the animalistic instinct reacting to a terrifying threat is not appropriate at this location. I will allow you to continue your panicking at another point sometime in the not-so-distant future.